Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Monday, January the 6th, the year 2020. Let's talk trading. How to fix your trading. Many times in trading and in life, things don't turn out the way we want them to. So, if something isn't working, i.e., broken, you have to fix it. So, sometimes it takes tools, sometimes it takes parts, sometimes it just takes you doing something different. And part of fixing things is figuring out what happened, what went wrong, why did it go wrong, and then, fixing it. And then you make sure it doesn't happen again. Problem though, or the situation with trading is that many times traders, especially beginning traders, they try to fix something that isn't broken. A lot of times they're looking to the system rather than looking to themselves. Now, I talk about this a lot. So, I see it all the time. Somebody will come to me and try one of my methods or indicators and they'll use it for, 5 trades. Oh man, I lost money. This thing doesn't work. You go, well, what do you mean it doesn't work? Well, I did this. I go, yeah, but why did you do that? Well, I thought, well, was that part of the plan? I mean, that's the way a lot of those conversations go. Or somebody will go, well, I back tested this and blah, blah, blah. And you guys know how I feel about back testing. For those who don't, the only reason why you back test is to make sure your code is working, it's triggering. You don't back test to see if something's profitable or not because, you get in the problem of it's not reality. Okay, it doesn't reflect reality. It and there's many reasons for it. They say like in order to have it reality, you'd have to have every tick time stamped to the tens of thousands or something, so the ticks come in the right order when you're running your back test. And so you just back test to make sure it signals buy when it was supposed to, or signals sell, or it signals wait, and that's it. You run your statistical analysis to say, hey, if I entered here, how many times did price go up 10, up 20, up 30, and see, if it happens enough times where you could actually make a profit. But back to fixing. You got to make sure you're fixing the right thing. But as I mentioned, in trading, the reason you enter has no bearing on the outcome of the trade. It doesn't mean it's going to be profitable. It doesn't mean it's going to end in a loss, because you're in an arena where you really don't know the outcome. You can't really predict it with any degree of accuracy. Any given trade could be a winner or a loser. And until you're willing to accept that and take the losses with the wins, um, you're not going to make headway. You're going to keep flipping from system to system, looking to fix the system when the system might not need you to fix it. It's just like I've mentioned before. I shoot pool, and yesterday, I was shooting pool. We were watching a football game, and I won the first game, and then I got beat like 4 games in a row against Dave, and Dave's a good shot. He's the kind of shooter you give him a chance, just set your stick down because he's gonna close you out. But then, I won a game and we traded some games back and forth, and then this one game I just couldn't do anything right, and I just said, Dave, I'm sorry, I didn't show up for that game. And he broke. And then I think I closed him out in like 1 or 2 turns. I said, I showed up that time, Dave. And the thing is, it was me, same sticks. And that's just the way it is. Sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. But, I don't look to the ball, I don't look to the stick. I don't look to the weather. I have to make the adjustments within me. But, sometimes you get a lucky shot, sometimes you don't. I mean, I made a really difficult bank shot. And then there was one that was relatively easy. I missed, and he came back and he closed me out. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. And the main thing is in trading, knowing all of that is the main reason why we put stop losses on, because we don't know if the trade that we enter is going to be a winner. So we put a stop loss. That way, we don't lose any more than we're willing to lose on that particular trade. Because, fellow boys and girls, these videos are for educational purposes only, and trading is very risky. And your results may differ from mine. And because trading's risky, if you don't have your stop loss, you can lose all your money. So, if you're seeking trading advice, financial advice, investment advice, you need to seek out an accredited financial professional and get your advice from them. That way, if you lose your money, you got your advice from an accredited financial professional rather than some person you heard on Yahoo or Google or YouTube or Facebook or on some trading forum. Okay, disclaimer out of the way. We still have some open gaps. The dollar yen gap down, and actually you'll see in a couple of charts here, it's actually taken out the pivot, which is a trade that I like to do. And somebody wants me to look at the euro dollar, so maybe we'll look at the euro dollar too some more today. And why did that do that? Okay, here's the dollar yen. You see it put in a yearly low and bounced up, went through the 108.00. So any psycho traders there trading at psychological level, it's also going past the 25. You'd be up 11 pips at the 25, 36 at the 00. It almost hit the 75. So there were pips to be made off of those simple horizontal line trades. And we're putting in a nice range for the day. You can see here the first trading day of the month right here. So we're in that range, first trading day of the month. And that weekly buy zone, you see here, we dipped back in the buy area a couple of times. You had a chance to go long. And we are still in that monthly inside bar. And you can see here there's some more opportunities of inside bars on the daily and the weekly and the monthly. The gray ones are the ones where price is within those inside bars. And the blue one says, hey, the previous day was an inside bar, so you might want to go check it to see where price is. We've got some nice ranges here. We got 8 above 100 so far today. Notice the euro dollar is only at 48. And you can see we broke through that previous day's low, and it was good for about 7 pips if you nailed that trade. We're making a weekly H1 highest open at the moment. And remember, fellow traders, if you can do this on your own charts on whatever pair, but I like pretty much stick to dollar yen, sometimes euro yen. And I've dabbled in the pound dollar because of all the stuff with the Brexit. But I like the dollar yen because it pretty much moves in a very methodical way, and it likes to take out that previous day's pivot. So I like that trade. Red rats, get ready. We've got the ranges large enough so you can look for a reversal here. On the pivot, I called out the daily pivot yesterday. I believe we were somewhere down here when I called it out, and we're now trying to approach that weekly pivot. Look to take out that pivot. Okay, we still have that missed pivot right here from December of last year. And, you know, we've got a few missed pivots, wondering if they'll get taken out. And I'll just show you the weekly. Missed last week, missed this week, but you see here, these 3 missed pivots, we haven't missed a pivot since 2016, October 2nd. Those 3 from last year, or the 2 from last year and the 1 from this year, which may be taken out soon. It's just one of those trades that, according to statistics, usually pay off. Now, I talked about the euro. Once again, I think yesterday when we made the video, it was down here, but you can see price didn't want to stay within these bars. I think I told you it was going to probably not stay between the 60 and the 70, and it didn't. Price has to range. It's just the way it works. Even with a 39 or 49 pip range, it has to range. Simple trade. I mean, it's like people are going to try to game the system and see if they can improve it. In fact, somebody asked me about the 3-level ZZ indicator, if I still used it. And yes, it's still being used. You can see it right here. And I uploaded the latest version, and I left that link in the YouTube video that you asked me that question on. So hopefully you can go get that indicator. Also, you can see here we can use these the 3-level ZZ. We put a 2-ball here. It's at the bottom, so we would look to go long. 3-ball at the top, look to go short. And you can see, once again, money to be made. 1 ball here at the bottom, look to go long. Pips to be made. It's not that difficult. And you could say, yes, maybe the 3-ball started here, maybe it started here. So you let that candle close, and then you can go in the reverse and just make sure it doesn't go past that point. Once again, stop loss. Now, let me jump ahead here because I've been saying about a trick. Okay, if you've got my TRO HL5 indicator, I'm going to show you this little trick here. And what the trick does is what we want to do is we want to look at the opens. Okay, and so we'll turn off the highs and the lows and just look at the open. And then right here, only show not crisscross. We'll turn that to true. And you can see here, there aren't any. And let me go back to the indicator. And let's do current period. But let's put in 0 bars, if I remember correctly. No, that's not how that indicator works. Let's look at the last 1,000 bars. I think I might have to update that indicator to use, if you put in 0, to use the visible bars on the screen. And let's shift back to D1. And as you can see, there's no opens that haven't been crisscrossed. Unless I'm looking at something wrong here. I might have to fix something. Okay, boys and girls, I'm back. There was something I forgot, so I turned show high and low back on. And with that crisscross, the thing is, something I've realized that, you see, at the open, if the low or high is greater than the open, that has already been crisscrossed. So I might have to slightly modify the code for the open. But as you can see here, these are areas where you can look for price to reverse or possibly break through. But actually what you want to look for is price to return to these levels. Okay, so that's the trick, using the only show not crisscrossed. So it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. Drain the bank.